guys, welcome back to Hospitality Queens with your favorite two hospitality gurus. I'm Erin,
What up? It's Whitney.
and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome
Yeah,
back, y'all.
if you haven't already, please go subscribe to our YouTube, Hospitality Queens on YouTube, and on Instagram, hospitality_queens. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, to all the things.
I love it. I am so excited. It's the week of the first week of December, ending
Mm-hmm.
November, all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And we are recording this on a full moon. So shout outs to the November full moon in Gemini. Fun, fun. Love it. It's a good day to release, let go, slow down, and restore yourself.
Yes. My affirmation for today. Um, Everything is created from within yourself. You're creating your life from the feelings you put out through what you are imagining all day. So make sure you stay positive because you create what your environment is.
Absolutely. I love that. Mine is very similar. I believe in myself. I silence every negative, self sabotaging thought that tries to make me feel like I am not good enough. You are good enough. You are worthy.
Yes, 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 yes. We're just coming off of Thanksgiving, Friendsgivings, all the things. I actually had a Friendsgiving with work. It was pretty fun. I haven't been to a Friendsgiving since I was pregnant. So that was nice to have a nice little Friendsgiving. And it's so funny because I feel like with Friendsgiving, by the time it's Thanksgiving, you could be over the food depending on like what your menu is. Um, but I think that's cool with Friendsgiving because you kind of do like potluck and it's kind of untraditional, so that helps. So that's really cool. But yeah, I love the holidays. Just like an extra day to just chill. They're just usually chill days for me.
Yes, definitely love the holidays. I actually just cooked a holiday inspired meal yesterday because I did not cook pretty much at all last week, except for during the week. But I did like a meatless turkey with mac and cheese and like made like a roast style. So that came out good. It made me feel like I ended off the week with a bang.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really didn't eat any holiday food. I actually worked on Thanksgiving in a restaurant, which was very nice because I haven't worked at this place in a really, really, really long time. And I felt the energy of being missed and
Mm-hmm.
appreciated for the energy I brought. And that made me really like push through the day. I feel like sometimes we don't realize how people you affect the energy. That place could be a little toxic, which we've talked about before, but everyone was just so helpful, like the most help I feel like I've ever gotten working there, which
Mm-hmm.
sounds like, dang, like it was like what you need. I was like, I wish I needed something. I didn't really need
Right.
anything in those moments, but it was really nice to just see people welcoming me back, and it made the shift go so much smoother than it always does. It wasn't as busy. But yeah, after that, I wasn't hungry because when you're around food, well, when I'm around food all day, it just kind of just curs my appetite. And they do a buffet style, so watching and throwing away so much food, it didn't do it
Mm-hmm.
for me. So I honestly had some drinks and I went to sleep. But other than that, it was really great just to be in a good place, and I kept just getting just compliments of just being in a nice mood. And I was just like, because I'm not burnt out. Number one, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really helps when you're not burnt out or you haven't done something in a while. So it's refreshing. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
chilling. Everyone's like, oh, do you like, they're feeling bad for me thinking I'm missing my family. I'm like, nah, I chose to do this.
Yeah.
It's always a choice for me. So there's no reason to feel bad. If anything, I'm just happy somebody here eating this now. I don't want to throw all this food away, but
Yeah.
lots of food went down, which is sad, but seemed like everyone's having a good time. So very
Yeah.
thankful just to be able to still walk and work and create a good atmosphere for my guests.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. And you're like just coming off of a trip. We weren't able to talk about it last show, but I know you wanted to talk about all the things that happened in Seattle.
Yeah, so I went to Seattle for work, and let me just tell you, the Southern hospitality is such a thing. Seattle is a liberal state, however, the hospitality is not there. That's just not what they're. That's just not what they do. I was
Maybe
actually
not what they're known
asking.
for.
Yeah, I actually kept asking people what they're known for. Like, what's the thing? I was trying to understand. Like, I asked like 1,000 people because I'm still confused. I got to go back or I have to research it more. I'm still confused on the culture of the place. I definitely feel like it's a mixture of different people. I like the liberal part where you can kind of be who you want. There's protection. However, it's a very expensive state to live in.
Mm-hmm.
And also, so the poverty levels there. And the liberal part was a little confusing to me because as we have to accept everyone, you would think since you are accepted and it's just like a lot of protection, you would think they would be happy and just in a better mood. But I would find that this place is a very, very dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how you always hear stuff about the drugs and stuff in Portland, Seattle, Oregon, like all these places are very drug influenced. And I could kind of see that energy. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a happy place, which is really hard because it's by the water. It's really pretty. They have
Mm-hmm.
mountains. I'm like, bro, sign me up. Like, can we swap? So I was really surprised. And I think for the first time ever out of all the places I've traveled, it's the most place I've actually felt my ethnicity and being different. And that's one of the things I did not enjoy about the city. I'm sure there is things to like, but I think it's just a melting pot of a lot of things, which doesn't necessarily bring the best environment sometimes, just depending on how it is. It could be very hippie, they can smoke, like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't given it wasn't given hippie fun vibes at all.
Mm, interesting.
Um
Or maybe you
yeah,
think it's
and
the areas, different areas.
it is different areas, but like one of the girls was telling me like they're really big on boundaries here and like they're like it's very segregated. And honestly, that's what I felt the whole time. I'm like, this is segregation at its best. Like, you would think like the whole point of us now is to be integrated and
Mm-hmm.
diversity and inclusion and all the things, and it's just not that. It's very boundaries and everyone doing what they're gonna do on each end, and that is not community. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
really understand that factor, especially with a state that gives you so much. Like if you live in southern states, we don't get nothing, but we're still community. Like it's still gonna be what it's gonna be, right? But it's just not like that there. So it's still very confusing. I asked them what food they did good. I was trying to figure it out because I'm like, well, what's the food? Like, da, 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 da. I had a lot of different types of food. Um, Nothing tickled my fancy except for one place I found, um, which it's called Communion, and it is a black-owned restaurant in, oh my gosh, what do they call it? The Central District. That's where like the historical black community was, but now it's more gentrified, so now everybody's moving
Mm-hmm.
more to the south. But it was really good. I had like a gumbo and some shrimp, which I'll post that. Number one, the service was great because I got to talk to the owner of the restaurant and it really just broke down all the great things about his culture and why he likes it because I'm asking him like what is it, and he had a lot of great things to say. One thing he said that stuck out to me was that if you want to slow down and really create something and manifest something and work on that, this is a good place because it's very slow, it's
Mm-hmm.
very quiet, ain't nothing really going on. And I was like, I like that part, right? Because you need some idle time sometimes to make things
Mm-hmm.
happen. Um, but that was really the only good experience I had. Everyone's big about dumplings over there. It has like a big like Asian Chinese community.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had a place called Dough House or Dough Zone, and it wasn't given. I think I had pot stickers, which I thought TGI Fridays pot stickers was better than pot stickers, and that's what they
Mm.
do. I
Crazy.
know, and they
Crazy.
make them fresh. So I was like, I felt
Mm.
bad. Like they gave me this noodle thing. It was like a noodle thing, but the sauce was giving. It was given like a like sriracha with like the sweet and sour, but like with like an Alfredo. It was not
Mm-hmm.
good. Then they had like a cucumber twirl, sweet and sour cucumber, and it just was tough. I was like, cucumber is not supposed to be this tough.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. It
interesting.
was it was right across the street, and I mean, when I tell you, everybody I talked to recommended this place. That's why I
Mm.
had it. So that's why I was confused. I'm like, man, everybody I talked to, this is the spot. No. Went to another
Mm.
place called Alibi Room, which super cute, like hole in the wall. It's right down like a little alley where they have like gum wall, which everybody sticks their gum on. But it looks like a little hidden door, just look like a creepy alley, but really cool. And if you know, you know, Alibi, the name just does something for me, just from my past experiences. But it was like a pizza type of place.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really interesting. They use like the big jars of like the olives, like the big thing to put the pizza on and stuff like that. So it's very like cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza was straight, nothing,
Nothing great.
nothing crazy. No, I mean you could watch them do the dough, like they
Mm-hmm.
was doing the dough in front of you, but nothing crazy. But I did have their signature drink was a Miller Highlight and a Jameson shot.
Mm.
And I know, I was like, what an interesting combo. I actually never think I ever had a Miller Highlight beer. But I did that day because I was like, this is what they're known for.
Yeah.
I gotta see what it's about.
So they
I
put
mean,
it together, or you just take one and?
you just take the shot and drink the beer.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so it was nothing. I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, okay. So I just had a couple shots of Jameson. That was great. It was nice to bring the good old Jameson back. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to this place called Lawie's Restaurant, which was in the Pike Place market, which I'll be posting about that. It's just like a more like a flea market kind of thing, like right in their downtown. You can walk through. It's huge, right off the water.
Isn't
It's really,
Starbucks
really
from
nice.
there? Is
Yes,
that
the
their claim
original
to fame?
Starbucks is
Maybe
there.
it's Starbucks. That's all they got.
Yeah, it
Starbucks.
is the original Starbucks, right? And
Yeah,
they
that's
do
like their
talk.
claim to fame. Then that's it.
It is. They talked about it. Most people tell me about that. Like that's their
Yeah.
thing. Oh, and then the Amazon, like the
Oh,
balls,
Amazon. Yeah.
the balls. But I didn't go to get to see the balls. They have this thing called the Space Needle, which I did that where you can like kind of
Mm-hmm.
look over the whole city.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Glass and Art museum, which was really dope. Yeah, it's a cool place to visit. I definitely think go visit. It is very expensive, which I thought like I'm used to expensive, like New York or Miami,
Mm-hmm.
like touristy places. But I feel like it was like a little extra expensive. Actually surprised. Like I feel like it's probably beating New York on
Mm-hmm.
like basic stuff of
Right. Right.
expensive,
Right.
right? Like so. Very, very interesting. Zara was lit though. I went to Zara. Ugh, I
Love
would go back
Zara.
just to go to Zara. Like their
Yeah.
Zara just had like those pieces because it's cold over there that I'm like, "Ugh,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it. It's nice to try on.
Mm-hmm.
Did get a couple items there, but
Yeah. Every
it was
time I
really
go
cool.
someplace, I want to go to a Zara.
It was right down. It was in walking distance, which I can say they have really good stuff. Like if you stay in that downtown, you can walk. You can
Mm-hmm.
really get to stuff, which is really nice. Lastly, I went to this place called Biscuit Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a standalone kind of just grab, pick up and go, but biscuits was fresh, honey. And the
Yeah.
service was cute and like it was nice because you really didn't have to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really nice, but that was like one of the first places I ate when I got there. Um, but speaking of that, we kind of talked about like the how you pay.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere uses Toast system there with the handhelds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everywhere uses Toast there. Like I have so many Toast receipts. I have points now that I can have money. That's all they have. The downfall is that everything they click in the tip they want you to pick before they get you to turn it around.
Oh.
So they're
Uh-huh.
picking what you should pick, like, 21's at 25. I'm like, man, you cap it. 20,
Oh, yeah,
25,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
30, like starting at 20, some was 15. But it was just so intriguing to me that everybody wanted a tip that has this on there. I mean, you go get anything, like everything had a tip. Coffee,
Mm-hmm.
drink, corner stove, everybody wants a tip and the service was not tip worthy. So it was really tough because I'm like, man, like I would love to tip you guys, but you kind of low key suck. But I
Right.
did tip, but that was a downfall.
Yeah, I mean that's good that you know how to use it because you can go and pick. But a lot of people probably don't even know to how to use it because they've never used Toast to use as a consumer. So yeah, at work I don't like our thing. It has like the tip percentages, like the suggestions, but it's before tax, and I don't like that. I feel like it's after
Oh,
tax.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. That's actually a good point. I don't know because I've seen those percentages, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever thought about before tax.
So like the 25 and 30%, a lot of times is will put you whatever like right at 20 or like whatever because the 20% is really 18 because it's before tax. So
That's a
yeah, I
really
actually had a
solid point.
table. There's a table that I had and I was like they were kind of just weird and when they got the check, she was like looking at it. I just don't like that. Like you know what you ordered is right. Like, I didn't hate when people like overly examine the receipt. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
giving broke vibes to me. But anyway, this girl was like, no, I think she was trying to make sure that she gave you the right tip because she saw that it wasn't right. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's like a far stretch because you don't really know what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing. But yeah, that's made me like really pay attention now because sometimes if it's just there, I won't even think about it. Just write whatever
Yeah.
is there. But yeah, make sure you're actually tipping the 20%. When
Yeah,
you
go
have
ahead and use.
suggested when there's suggested tips, because I'm guilty of it, make sure that it's tipping on the after tax total.
That's a
Goes a long way.
solid point. We're gonna have to write, make sure we post it on our page because that's deep. I don't think I paid attention to you just said that. Now I'm like really going back in my mind, y'all. I'm really thinking.
Girl,
Cause
because
like
once I
I never
figured out, we already went to the manager. I'm like, I'm trying to. If anybody gonna ask, it's gonna
mm,
be me because I like money. And she's like, yeah, it's like she explained it to me, but she didn't say we could change it. So I'm like, I guess there's another way
right.
about it. But yeah, that's what it
Because you
is.
guys have to realize too, like people don't realize like people still have to pay real taxes too, like off this money. So if you're barely giving this, you guys, we don't make no money per hour. So it's like we're paying taxes on it. So that 20% is pretty crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Um Deep. That's really good. Now that it's adding up. Cause I was getting some tips on
Yeah.
from thinking. Because I was getting some tips and I was like, I feel like in my head it should have been because and now that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. It's like they probably was looking at the suggestion because I wasn't really paying attention to that, and that's what it said, and they thought they were doing the right thing, which they should be, but that's just an error. And also, guys, if you can compliment somebody and how great they are and how amazing they're doing and how fun they are and how great, like you're just bashing them with compliments, please add a couple extra dollars to the
No.
check.
I mean,
Like
yes, but that usually always everyone knows when your table's overly like that, they're not gonna go. Everyone knows that. So it's like that sounds great, but that's never gonna happen.
I
Most of the
know,
time
but
we
you know,
already
just
know it's like verbal, it's just verbal compliments. They're not going to tip you well. I mean it
it's so
happens
crazy.
here and there, but
Yeah.
typically they don't even tip you 20%. It's usually 10.
Yeah, it's
Or just
so
$5
crazy.
on whatever the tab is.
So crazy. Like people, please. Like
Yeah.
I haven't served in a minute, so it did feel very like fresh. But I'm like, okay, bro, like if I'm this good, where's the
Mm-hmm.
extra coinage, bro? Like, and I get it, but like leave me alone or don't talk to me. And then
Yeah.
like I wonder why I keep walking away. Like the coin is not you ain't paying for my time. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
other tables and stuff to clean and things to do so
Stuff
I
to
can get up out of
do.
here on time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because yes, we're here to serve y'all, and yes, we're here to make sure you're good, but we still have a whole restaurant to keep a hold of. We do not have an hour to spend with you. We would love to, but no.
Yeah, no. I like to try to keep it like short and cute. Even sometimes you do have to like cut your people off because you know they're about to go in on it like a thing. And you have to be nice, like just ask something about the service. Can like I'm gonna go grab your whatever and come back, or I'm gonna you see something like have an exit plan. I love doing that. Oh, I'm gonna grab y'all some more waters. Like I'll be right back. Cause you're not about
Yes.
to, cause they like, I get it, but yes, you're there to entertain and like build that bond with your tables. However, they're here to enjoy their time with the people that they're at the table with. Like you're really not, really shouldn't be at your table for that long, like talking and cackling and doing all that because yes, you're taking the time from your other tables, but it's just too much. Unless it's like your only table and like, but when it's busy, you gotta,
Yeah, you got to keep going.
yeah.
You got to keep going. You got to keep going. They tried to put like a cap on the tables, which is an hour and a half, that each table could get an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
However, we had nobody regulating that. So
Yeah.
I find that like, and I'm like telling them, I'm like, hey, like I've done my due diligence. It's pre-bus. The check is gone. It's printed out. It's done, but they're still sitting.
Mm-hmm.
You like as a manager, it's good for them to come do that table touch, right? They wrote
Mm-hmm.
signs, so each table had the sign, but there's
Mm-hmm.
only so much they're gonna do for little old me because they also feel like we just tipped you, right? So I had to keep telling people like, oh, there's a reservation at your table at this time. there's a
Yeah.
reservation at your time, but it's like, sometimes like we listen, but they kind of don't
Yeah.
care. And I tell the manager and that person, they don't do anything. And I'm like, that is the purpose of management. Like, if you're a
Mm-hmm.
manager and people are coming to give you feedback, they might need additional support. And that's just your
Yeah.
time to even do a table touch. Hey, how was everything? Great. We do have reservations. Thank you so much for dining. Peace. And no one's going
Yeah.
to be mad.
I like that part. The only thing I don't like, I remember this when I was managing, I don't like when servers are scared to tell the table, because it's like they've been dining with you for an hour. You should have built
Hmm.
up that relationship enough for you to be able to say that, at least, like, just break the ice, opposed to me who hasn't been at the table for almost 2 hours now. You know what I'm saying? So at
Hmm.
least if you are able to do it first and then they don't, then I'll come. But don't be scary.
Yes.
I don't like scary people. Like, this is a part of your job. If they don't move, cool, but like, it should be easy because you've been with
It
them.
should
It
be.
should be
Yeah.
easy,
Yeah.
like, not like
Hmm.
for you to say it. And now if they don't,
Yes.
whatever. But like, don't be scared. You've been at the table the whole time. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I just don't understand, being scared of something.
Yeah. And just helping people build confidence. Sometimes, like, if their table was really weird, that could probably just make them feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I find that I kind of saw that, like, and they waited. So, like, we have people, like, they're already irritable.
Mm-hmm.
This one girl, she was crumbling because they were very irritable at the front, and they finally get her, so they're still just irritable with her the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to tell them, no, now you need to go. She was just like,
Yeah.
how do I say it? And I was just like, just tell them reservation.
Yeah.
Just tell them someone booked this table already. And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, they have a reservation too. I'm like, I get it, but it's all you could do is say it, and you could just gladly let them know, like, should they have any questions or concerns, you could bring a manager over,
Mm-hmm.
because people come in tough and they have high expectations. We had a buffet style, but it's kind of like a couple of different stations, but they're just all put together. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody was waiting on, I mean, a long, long line for this buffet. And I kept telling my tables, like, hey, there's different sections, there's plates at every place. Like, people are just doing this because they don't know, and it's just
Right.
generic,
They're
right?
just going with the herd of what everyone else is
Is
doing. Not,
doing. And I
yeah.
was just like, I'm telling you, you can go because there's plates right there. And I was like, I know it might be awkward, but you can go. And I was like, and I'd be happy to go and show you where the plates are and point
Mm-hmm.
it in your direction. So maybe it could help move some other people too. Because some people don't want
Mm-hmm.
breakfast. One was like breakfast, one was lunch. I'm like, if you don't want that, don't wait. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
be courtesy. Like, you just
Mm-hmm.
don't, because there's plates there. And there's nobody. And I also told her, I was like, honestly, there's nobody regulating this buffet. So you really can do whatever you want. If you
Do
want to
whatever you want.
bust through somebody, what they gonna do? Like, I think, like, we're always just so, what's the right thing to do in a buffet style? But I'm like, in buffet, I feel like buffets are kind of savage. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's when you should be a little savage, if you're going to, just because
Yeah. If you're eating at a
it's all
buffet,
open.
you're already
You're
a
sad.
special person. No shade, but shade. Yeah.
Facts. So we got if you get into a buffet,
And that, I feel like the regulating
yeah.
part, and that just starts with like your management or just your crew. Because some places I
Hmm.
worked in, child, there's no management, so you have to manage yourselves. But kind of band together and just like stand on business, stand on it. Like, hey, this is what we're doing. You got whatever. But I think having a good management staff who is really, because we have that at our restaurant too. We have it on the, when you book your reservation, it's there. It's on the door. It's right at the hostess stand. It's like at a lot of few different places. And one of the things that I like about my job is that they tell you we don't care about telling people no. The customer is not always right, so
Yeah.
we don't play like that. So if it's something like, we're gonna have your back, and it is what it is. And our manager, I've heard her tell people no so many different ways, and they're not. What can they do? Nothing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're like low key, and it's a lot of it because she's a black woman. They're scared of us, so they're not gonna like be really
Hmm.
combative. They just say okay, and that's that. She's like the queen of nice nasty.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Mm-hmm.
the signage and, like, in your face, because, as we know, nobody reads
They
thing to
don't.
its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like you could go online and book and it says that like yes, so honey, whoever booked knew. Then you come, boom, it's there again. Like I really like that. Like that we should definitely need some regulation on that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
Because I
That
remember
is important.
coming to the restaurant before I worked there, and it's like kind of like, oh shit. Like you see, because there's a few different things. You're like, oh, okay, like period. So it may even be in the
Period.
damn bathroom too. Like, and I like that too. Like the hours, like whatever you need to know in the bathroom too. Like you can't say you don't know, because it's going to be a couple different places. So if you didn't read it here, you're too busy here. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. So
I love it.
uh,
Signage is everything. Reminders are
mm-hmm,
everything.
mm-hmm.
Reminders. It's the reminders.
Yes,
I've
please.
put multiple on my phone because reminders are a thing. I really, really, really like that. And you guys use your reminders. Remind yourself,
Yeah.
or like if you work a place and you're always frustrated with customers because if they're doing the same repeat thing, like find cute ways to post it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I see signs a lot now where it's like, we're short staffed. Please be patient with the ones that did come to work today. And
Love
I'm
that.
like, yes, because they don't know. We don't know till you
Mm-hmm.
tell. And I think, if you're a place that struggles with staffing issues or whatever the case may be, if you're just putting it out there and letting them know ahead of time, that's so informative and great. So they can't be mad and
Mm-hmm.
judging.
Also with the payment, if you know you don't got your card and you can only use Apple Pay, call the restaurant real quick. Look on their website real quick to see if they accept Apple Pay or something like that. It's just so you're not caught slipping. Because I get it, like in this day and age, like we people just have their phone. I get it. However, I had this lady. This was a while ago. She was by herself, and she was kind of weird, just the way she was drinking. That was the first thing. Like she started with, like, I don't know, let's say a watermelon margarita, and she had a hurricane, and then she wanted to try an oyster shooter. She's never had an oyster shooter before. And I like when people are adventurous, but it's like, girl, the hurricane is like our most like lethal drink that we have. Like you can only have two, like that type of thing. And maybe she had like another cocktail that was just like nothing was like the same. Everything was just like all over the place. She was just trying everything. And then the food that she got, I was like, girl, you're gonna puke. Like I love a whole experience, but it just wasn't giving. She wasn't like taking my suggestions of like what she wanted. She was just like going off like unhinged. I'm like, okay, whatever, girl, you're going through something. So then she's like ready to go, and she's like, or no, she's like, I need to go to my car to get my charger. And then she didn't have a card. She needed to use Apple Pay. I'm like, we don't have Apple Pay, but if you know your card number, you can come in and enter it in manually. We could do that. And then she was still just weird about that. She was like, oh, I need to go to my car to get my charger because my like maybe her card number was on her phone. She didn't know it by heart or something like that. So I told my manager, I'm like, she's being weird. Like something about her, I just don't. The vibes are off. And she went over to the girl. She ended up taking the girl's phone, charging it at the host stand. Like she would not let her leave. She was like, now you can go to your car and get whatever you need, but your phone's staying here. I was like, damn. She's like, yeah,
Good.
she's not about to walk out on her tab. I was like, I know she was just being so weird, just so weird from the beginning. And she was like, yeah, she was gonna try to walk out on her tab. I'm like, yeah, for sure, for sure. But when she was like, I gotta go to my car, that's when I was like, okay, B, no,
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 bitch.
no, no,
You
no,
go to
no.
you guys figure out what you need before the meals and the drinks start coming.
Yeah,
You once
no,
you in here, boo.
yeah,
When you by
you can't
yourself,
leave.
leave your
Mm-mm.
friend with me or something.
Yeah, you can't leave. Once you're here, you're here.
Wow.
No, no. And
That's
it's
deep.
funny because I met up with a friend last week, and like I wanted to just go ahead and go in the restaurant, but we had to go to dang, what were we doing? Like we were going to the liquor store. We wanted to go together, and I'm like, dang, I had to wait for her to go, but I'm like, I wish I could just go in, but I'm like, I don't want to be weird and like come in, leave, and come back. Just not that I was doing anything weird, but it's just too much movement, too many things. So I just was already thinking of that, like, okay, I'm gonna just chill, wait for her, and then we're gonna do everything together in one accord because I can't. It's just giving sketch. Unless it's like that type of place where you can come in and out like that, still. I don't like all that. I just don't personally. I don't like that. It just
Hmm.
makes me a little anxious. Because what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, big facts. One of the things today I was trying to channel the energy for like the week and the full moon. So
Mhm.
when you just said that, it was like slow down, reset. Like that is
Yeah,
actually the energy of the full moon. Slow down, reset, be present. Sometimes like when you're going so fast, you may miss something. So sometimes we do want to get things done. But
yeah,
then you know what? Two eyes are better than one. So when she
right.
came, right, you guys could
Yeah.
really fit extra thing to happen. So sometimes like
Hmm.
yes, proactive is good, and you know how us
Yeah.
women be. We be ready to get it done, check off
Yeah.
the list. It's something about checking
Same.
stuff off the
Yeah.
list that
And I
is
was like, I
like
could just
life.
go in, have a few drinks before. Like I was just already like,
Yeah.
I was like, B, you don't need to have no extra drinks. You don't need to do that. All
Don't, but
that.
she'll want to though, but don't need it.
But no,
Don't need
I don't need to do that. Just girl, sit in your car and just
and
whatever.
flow.
But
Yes. No,
yeah,
I feel
people
that.
don't be weird, don't be sketchy. If you, I mean, I just feel like scamming and all that stuff is just always at all time high. But so is people's like not allowing you to do so too. So like as much
Yes,
as you think you're gonna get
yes,
away with it,
yes.
people have things in place to stop your ass too. So
The
just be
audacity
prepared.
levels are changing.
Yeah.
The
Be
audacity levels are
prepared
changing.
for what's to come because people are not playing. Okay. You and then what I like too, my favorite thing is like letting people think they're getting away with it and then you don't even see it coming. That's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, yeah, for
That's my
sure. I
personal
love that.
favorite.
I love
Hmm.
that. Yeah, it's just like just when you thought, boo,
Hmm.
period. I love that. I think that's a good revelation. Like I've been like just channeling energy today, but it's like the audacity that people think that they're so used to being able to have.
Hmm.
People are able and stronger and fed up, and now they're taking a stance. And I am loving this for the people. But I think what I'm also noticing is that all the people that do stuff like that, the people that have the audacity, have that mentality, they
Hmm.
are really feeling it in these seasons, right? Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
sense it and I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
finally, like it may not be the victory we had wanted and how we wanted it to go down. It's
Hmm.
not happening like that, but it is
Hmm.
happening and it is refreshing. Like it
Hmm.
is refreshing because you can see it going down and you're like, you know what? Try to tell you. You know,
Yeah, and you don't even
you
have to do
can't.
anything. Like you don't have to do anything. Like don't fret. Don't get your don't do a thing. It's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
work out how it's gonna work out. Not wishing bad on anybody, but
No.
karma
Mm-mm.
just karma. She'll come for you. Okay, it don't matter. She'll come for you.
I always
So
say the universe don't play about me, honey. So
oh
if you an hour or
yeah.
later,
Now that's
and I
the one you
love that.
say all the way.
An hour later, an hour later. Okay.
Yeah, because
Period.
you can say that one slow. Okay, because you're gonna feel it.
You are gonna feel it. That's a real one, y'all. Like, do not play. I think we just entered a retrograde too, which I haven't really tapped into that one fully
Mm-hmm.
yet. But retrograde energy is there. But you know, when you have been working really hard on yourself and affirming your days and being positive and being open, those retrogrades won't hit you as hard. Yes, life will happen, but you
Right.
have now created a defense mechanism to be able to rechannel your and shift your thoughts. So y'all, we don't be telling y'all this for no reason, honey. Okay, we was trying to get y'all ready for war, honey. If the war was coming, you should be ready, honey, and you gonna still look cute at the end.
That's
Period.
hilarious. Is that the name of
Period.
this the show? Ready for War?
Ready for war, like seriously, seriously, it's deep off in these streets. I was watching something today, and like, I guess California still has like the ambushes of the stores, you know,
Oh yeah,
where they
yeah,
go
yeah.
and just steal all stuff, and just watching them like they so savage now. They didn't even put no mask on.
Really?
I mean, they just straight face outfits, flip flop. Like they ain't even coming in ready for war. Like they're not even coming in because I be seeing a lot of people be stopping them. Like there's videos where people be stopping at the door, locking doors. Girl, it's
What?
so deep. It's so deep, and
Mm.
now they like, but they just coming in regular. Like y'all
Mm.
ain't even put no mask on. You ain't put no tennis shoes on. You ain't put no Vaseline on so you can slide through hands. Because some people have the audacity also to like try to protect the assets, which I definitely want to
Never.
remind you guys. These merchandisers, these stores, they have insurance, and it is not your job to touch or get any physical interaction with someone that's, number one, not touching you and is taking products. Just let them do it
Yeah.
and tell the merchant or the company to do it, because you guys are putting yourselves in harm's way. And at the end of the day, it's just a
Yeah.
job.
Unless like unless retail, I haven't been in retail in a long time, like working at a retail store, but yeah, they always would tell you that you're not supposed to do any of that unless they changed it and they think it could be inside jobs. Like, things change in the with the economy
um,
and stuff like that. They may have changed the rules that you may have to try to stop them or do something. I don't know, they may have, because that's weird. Are you talking about the customers or like the employees stopping
the
them?
employees are stopping. The employees are stopping.
Ooh,
Like,
they might have
okay,
changed something. It might be per company, because yeah, I remember that it was like you never, or like I think if you see them put it in their bag, like if you actually see them, and this is different because they're like running out of the thing, but if you obviously they see them, you can approach them and like you would say something like, "Oh, do you need a bag?" or "Oh, can I ring that?" or whatever you say, because you see
yes.
them doing that. But yeah, you're never supposed to get hurt by people stealing, but they could change it, because I haven't been worked in a retail store in probably 15 years, probably more than that. But yeah, I would never do that. I
It's
would have to
very
get
deep.
fired or just wouldn't work there.
It's very deep.
Or maybe it depends.
Yeah.
I feel like department stores are different because they have a whole team that watches them. Because I used to work for Belk, and they had a whole loss prevention team that came in regular clothes and stuff like that, and they would just shop around the restaurant. They had their own little office and headquarters and stuff like that, and they would like take them there and all that. Um, but that's a whole. But they're separate. They're not working at the store. So,
It's like their job. I'm gonna send you some of these videos that we talk on,
ooh,
and I feel like it's just YouTube, like just coming through with this
yeah.
random shorts and stuff. But
Mm-mm.
like actual employees are being like, they got their uniform on. I think it was like a CVS where like this lady just tried to grab a whole bunch of stuff, and they closed the sliding doors, locked them, and dude was
Uh,
at the front like, no, and the homegirl was crying. Oh, like she was just hysterically crying because she's trying to get out, because she was trying to steal, but she's trying to get out because they locked her in, y'all. They said,
don't
no,
cry now.
ma'am. Yeah, it's getting real deep out here. I actually haven't been out in the streets like that, and I don't plan to be. But it's getting real deep out
It might be
here.
CVS. It might be. I feel like that kind of store is different. I think it could be that. Because they
Lock
have
the
more like
doors on them.
medicines and
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things, like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So I think it could be different because of CVS. Because the CVS by my house, child, they still get having a window tape, caution tape. People be stealing out of those places real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it just could be. 'Cause I, like, what is the thing? What is the brown thing called? It's like a piece of wood, and they had it in the whole like sliding door, the whole thing, and they had like caution tape for forever, forever. So yeah, the little it's gentrified. So it's
Hmm.
like the hood, and then
Yep.
right there, even like my manager's talking about, she was trying to go to the ATM, and I was like, I don't know. And she was like, well, the caution tapes are down. I said, hey, I think someone just took it down because the ATM does not work. But yeah, for months, caution tape on this dang Wells Fargo ATM, and they still haven't fixed it. And she came back mad. And I said, girl, no,
And
someone probably was
honestly,
just.
like if it ever happened, I don't think you ever want to use it, because like
I
you
wouldn't
see
want
those
to.
those videos where like people have the layer on top. Now that scares the crap out of me.
Hmm.
But like it just makes you not like, I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Like I like the tappy situation, because
Yeah, that's what I do
you
now.
can't redo you can't
Yeah,
undo the tap. Tappy
I
is
just
just
tap.
next level of
Hmm.
technology, and anybody got that type of money to be getting those type of scams. So tap, you guys, stop inserting that. Tap, tap, tap. And if it don't take a tap, I don't know.
Yeah, I love the tap or my phone. Girl, I was at
Yeah.
Family Dollar the other day, and this is my fault. I looked in, and this happens to me not often, but like I'll like count money or like have money, and I don't put it in my wallet where it should be. I'm at Family Dollar, and I'm like, where's all the, like, I have money, and I look and I don't have my card. So for of course it's like, what? I'm like, I just can't buy anything because I don't have anything. And then the tap Apple Pay didn't work on the register, and you know it's Family Dollar, so there's only one register. And I'm just like, okay, well that's fine. Like I'll just come back later. And this guy was like, no, you could come down here. And I'm like, first of all, we've been waiting in line this whole time, and this other register works, and he's just been behind so first I'm pissed because you could have been helping her ring up people this
Yep.
whole time. We've been waiting, so irritating. And then the Apple Pay works on that. I'm like, ain't this some shit? This whole time,
Wow.
waiting, having this
Wow.
one lady struggle. And he's like doing stuff. And it's so funny. The whole time he's talking to her about people who are stealing. So he's finding all these, that's so funny. He's finding all these empty stuff. And they're just talking about, oh my God, people are getting so clever now. And like, she's talking to her about all the stuff they're stealing. So, I mean, yeah, he's doing work, but he could have
You
paused
need
to
to come and help for
maybe
sure.
10, 15 minutes to get the line down and then go back to what you're doing. That's teamwork. Then like putting it on this one lady. But yes, I did find, it's just when you might change bags and I had all of my like stuff in the other bag or whatever, didn't even think about it. I'm like, damn, I'm riding dirty. No ID, my ID, everything was in this whole other bag. So scary. But yeah, shout out to Apple Pay because
Yeah, shout out to Apple Pay. And I took a picture of my license and saved it in my favorites in my phone, you guys. I just have
oh
that
good.
on deck because like I will move, change purses. I was on the go. I went even though I just maybe go pick up my son from school. But like
Mm-hmm.
I had thought it was in his bag. It wasn't his bag, just it's
Mm-hmm.
natural. Like I have two bags. Like one of my tasks this morning is to put both bags that I've been using the last week right next to each other to
Mm-hmm.
remind myself to look because I switch between the two, you know.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
real. It's real. But the
Mm-hmm.
Apple Pay is definitely coming in handy. So
Yeah, some people are weird about having like their card and stuff on their phone, but I'm like, y'all,
I get it.
I get it, but they see everything anyway, so it's kind of like the least of your worries because if you use your card, say it's not even saved on your phone, but if you online shop, you're still entering your card online. Yes, it's a
Hmm.
secured place, but
They get hacked too. Your
yeah,
phone can
it
get
can get
hacked.
hacked.
The
So it's
website.
just like
Hmm.
yes, but I remember my card number and I remembered my ID number, and that's just all from working at the cell phone company because I just learned from other people. I would have to get payments over the phone or ask for stuff. And you know, sometimes you're like, okay, I'll give you a minute, and then people be like, oh no, I haven't memorized. I'm like, ooh, well, I want to memorize mine too. I want to challenge myself, and I've memorized a few cards and my ID number. And I'm very proud of
Impressive.
myself because I do not have good memory. But as much as I shop online, I memorize it because, you know, I have to put it in all the time. So yeah. And then cards, like
Impressive.
the first the first numbers are always the same depending on like where your banks are. And I learned that too from working having to put a lot of people's cards numbers in. Like the first at least 4 to 8 numbers can be the same on
Hmm.
cards. It's really the last two sets of numbers that are really different. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
very true.
Yeah, and
Okay,
then it's crazy how
memories.
like missing it by one number could mess up. You could possibly put someone's those cards in or whatever, but you know you have the security code and zip code and all that that could decline it, but it can be real easy to put someone else's card number in there by accident too. So yeah,
Yeah,
don't
it's
get caught
real.
slipping scamming by accident. Don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't do it, you guys. It's real out here. Protect your cars, protect your bag, protect your energy. It is just get ready for war and protect yourself in
Hmm.
every aspect
Protect your neck. Yeah,
because
especially I mean it's everyone always says like holiday time. It's just
it's
life.
yeah,
It's no more of it being just heightened during this time. It's
yeah,
just all 12 months, 365, baby. Just you
yeah.
just gotta be and I like there's always stuff online about having your keys ready and like having your stuff ready when you get to your car and all that. That's really important. And I get on Jonas so much because he's 5, but he just wants to play. When we come home, he wants to run down there and run up the stairs. I'm like, no, we have to get in the house fast and quick because you don't know who's watching you or whatever. Like there's no playtime, especially at night when we're coming home. Like we got
For
to get in
sure.
this house. I'm not playing. I don't care if you're mad. We getting in this house.
For
Like
sure.
not time to play.
Yeah, taser, spray, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you guys have to do because it is. It's more heightened than I think. Just the shift in economic situations right now,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just even more and heightened. Before, like we've always dealt with these kind of things before, but right now everyone is really struggling. I was talking like the economic situation is, we may not feel it all the way, but
Right.
a lot of people are still feeling it. A lot of people are still laid off from a year, over a year now, so that's a
Mm-hmm.
really big deal economically. And so people do desperate things, so just be mindful and also be grateful for what you do have,
Yep.
because it's important.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Very, very,
It's
very true.
it's,
Yeah, a
it's
lot of
real
us we
out
don't
here.
think about it. You're right, because you're in your own bubble. Some people never had to stop working. Some people, whatever, like you just don't know. And not saying that like, oh well, someone's gonna steal from me because, but no, you have to be
Right.
mindful of like it could happen. Hope to God it doesn't happen, and be ready if something ever does happen and you're in harm's way. But it's good to just know what's going on in the world for
Hmm.
sure. And just don't look down on people because you just don't know. You don't know. It could happen. It could happen to anybody. You can be humbled real quick.
Real fast, real fast.
Real quick.
Safety is a vibe.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay,
yeah. So
protect yourself.
that's our challenge for the week, child. Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Have like, little emergency, little, 1, 2. Do you have a taser? Do you have something? I have like a keychain thing. Like might need to stab somebody. You might need to teach your kids self defense. Like all kinds of things. Like
Hmm.
just have a little plan. Don't
Have a
get
little
caught.
plan. Don't get caught slipping, and just be vigilant. Like really check your surroundings. Move slow. With great intention, and be positive, and don't be mean because you don't know how that's gonna come back at you. Like I be wanting to be a little sassy, but I just like, you know what? Do I really want to go down this road in
Mm-hmm.
case things go down? Like is it worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth you guys getting mad over a red light. It's not worth you getting mad over a parking spot. It's not worth it. Like everybody's just in a weird place. Somebody could have just had their house robbed and they went to the store and they're frustrated and they're gonna take it out on you. You didn't do it, but you're the person that's just wasn't given welcome. And we don't know what people are going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Good, bad, and indifferent. So keep that same energy of just you in
Yep.
your bubble. Kumbaya. La la la. That's it. That's it. That's why I was like, when I had bad service in Seattle, it really was hurtful because I'm like, man, I'm just chilling. I'm just
Not
trying to
doing nothing
hang.
crazy.
I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to vibe. And y'all didn't want to let me have it. And so that's what was hard about it. That's why I didn't like it because I do understand there's people going through going through stuff. But everybody in the city, no,
Yeah,
there's
and
gotta be
especially
some
if you're
change.
in the service industry, you should be nice to all of your tables. Even if your table's not being the nicest to you, you should still just give them, like, maybe you're not going to be as nice, but you're not going to be
Hmm.
mean or rude because it's still your job. Or let your manager handle it. That's another thing
Yeah.
too. Like, if your table's being crazy or whatever, like, tell your manager so they can handle it. You don't have to go back over there. Hopefully
Yes.
you have like a management staff that could do that for you, but like, or sometimes you just gotta be nice nasty to your
You
tables. Like that
do.
was the
You
thing
do.
this week. This girl, people smell like kind of like it's like sharks. If they know they can, like, if you
Oh,
seem
get you. Hmm.
to be like a server that can't really handle it or just easily like bothered, they're coming for
Hmm.
you. And they're not gonna let up. Don't let people,
Mm.
like, never, that's my thing, never let people see you sweat. You can be going on crazy, you might need to go cry, but don't let people see that, because like they
Yeah.
came for her. Kept coming for her, and she let the table win. Like she let the table win.
Mm.
It's like it could be, those big tables, and they move on around, and it's all, and I feel like it's all the server too. You got to be organized, because at the
True.
end this person didn't know, you don't know who had this, you don't know who had that, so it's like, yeah, you're giving them all the ammo to like be like that and turn up on you.
Hmm.
So it's just like, it kind of just, it happens to everybody, but once it happens to you once, it's never gonna happen again. I know that for sure. That's how I am. It's just like, especially at work and things like that. It's like you just learn from like, okay, cool. You gotta stand on business. You gotta be a little more firm. You gotta be like, all right, now, like, especially with like any type of table, you kind of have to be like them. Like, all right, now y'all doing a lot. Like, be nice, but okay, y'all. Like, I see you moving over here. Like, what we gonna do? Like, be nice, have your personality into, and they can't really be too mad about it. You know, like they can't really say anything. Like, okay, I know y'all two had the shrimp. Are y'all sharing it? Y'all splitting it? What y'all like? You know, just put your personality into it so they can be like, all right, you know, she's right. We did switch over and we did do this. So okay, it's like let's chill. Like let's
Mm-hmm.
be a little nicer and softer with her because we are doing a lot. You kind
Yeah.
of have to call people out because they are out, they're dining, they're having parties at their birthday, so they don't think of it like we think of it when they're switching seats and, oh, I'm gonna split this with her down there, and we don't think about it like that because they're just having fun. But for us, it's like stressful, you know.
It
So
is.
be
It is.
mindful. Be
Be
mindful.
mindful.
Give your
Mindfulness.
server some grace, Chad.
Give your server some grace, child. Give your table some grace, and just set the tone.
And stop doing verbal tips. if
Oh
your
yeah.
if your table is if your server is just that amazing, yes, you should tell them how amazing they are. Tell the manager too, and then leave them an extra 20 on top of that, on top of the tip you already gave them.
Leave for real though, no cap, because there is nothing else that anyone can like deal if you are just, I mean, it's giving praise, but the coin ain't coining. No, 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 no. Okay, no. No, the validation is nice, but I came to work for the money, and I don't really like the appreciate you. One nice compliment is cool, but don't compliment me for an hour and the tip ain't tipping. One is
Yeah,
good
leave a
enough.
review. I think that's where you should just leave a review.
Leave a review. Tell them like Erin was the bomb.
Because that's gonna make you more money. Because everyone reading that's gonna be like, ooh, who's Aaron? And maybe when they come in, they want Aaron to be their server. So that's the best thing. Leave a review if your server is that amazing. Leave a review
Leave
and
a
make sure you
review.
add their name. I love when people are like, "What is your name again? Like, what was your name again?" Yes,
Yes,
Whitney.
leave a review. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
leave a review. Let us know. Let the feedback so the management could take some time to reassess their
Mm-hmm.
plans and the way they want to do their culture. Period. You guys, we are giving you all the tips and tricks here on Hospitality Queens, your hospitality gurus. If you don't know, then now you know. We've been doing this for a really, really, really long time, and we still love it. Obviously, you can still hear from the passion, but we have noticed a change. And so we're just trying to put y'all up on game
That's
and get
all.
your feedback. And if you have some comments that you'd like to share, please do so in the comment section or on our Hospitality Queens podcast on YouTube or Instagram page.
Yes, and you can follow us at all those places on Instagram, hospitality_queens, on YouTube, and we're literally everywhere that you listen to your podcast. And you can follow me on Instagram at Whitney White, and that's Whitney with 3 Y's.
It's the three whys, okay? Why? It's like, why are you so awesome? Why are you so funny? And why are you so cute? Period. Love it. And you can follow me at Get Toned with E on Instagram and Get Toned Wellness for all your wellness needs. And until next time, you guys.
Peace.
Peace. It's the